If you're a diehard Browns fan and love breaking down the game like we do, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a blitz. The buzz surrounding the Cleveland Browns rookie quarterback, Shedeur Sanders, has reached levels that transcend the usual draft day chatter. Even as QB4 on the depth chart, his name has become a frequent topic of conversation among analysts, fans, and former coaches alike. The attention isn't just because of his athletic ability. It's also tied to the legacy he carries as the son of Deion Sanders, a Hall of Famer who redefined defensive play in the NFL. For Cleveland, selecting Shedeur was a calculated risk, a decision that combined the allure of potential star power with the undeniable pressure of living up to a famous surname. While some teams might shy away from the media storm that accompanies such a player, the Browns embraced the challenge, understanding that the spotlight is inevitable. The intrigue surrounding Shedeur is fueled not only by speculation about his skills, but by the narrative of transformation and leadership that he brings from his collegiate career. Urban Meyer's recent comments about Shedeur Sanders added even more weight to the growing narrative around the young quarterback. Meyer, known for his no-nonsense approach and sharp eye for talent, didn't hold back when sharing his impressions of the fifth-round pick. He highlighted Sanders' ability to navigate high-pressure situations, praising his skill set, leadership, and character. According to Meyer, these traits are critical indicators of a player capable of handling the complexities of professional football. Meyer's endorsement carries influence because of his storied coaching career, which includes multiple national championships and years of developing elite quarterbacks. His acknowledgement that Sanders could succeed depending on the environment around him signals both optimism and a subtle caution. This perspective underscores the idea that talent alone isn't enough in the NFL. Team chemistry, coaching, and organizational support play pivotal roles in a rookie quarterback's development. Despite the praise from Meyer and other analysts, the reality for Shedeur Sanders is that he must earn his place in the Browns' hierarchy like any other player. Being QB4 means he starts behind established names, requiring patience and dedication to learn the playbook, build rapport with teammates, and adjust to the speed of professional defenses. While expectations may be heightened because of his last name, the path to becoming a starter will depend on consistent performance in practice, preseason games, and opportunities that arise from injuries or performance shifts among the quarterbacks ahead of him. The NFL has a history of late-round picks exceeding expectations, but it's equally filled with promising athletes who never fully translate collegiate success into pro-level achievements. For Sanders, this journey is about proving his merit beyond the familial connection, showing that he can compete on his own terms and earn the trust of coaches and teammates alike. The Browns' decision to select Sanders in the fifth round surprised many observers, as most projected him to go earlier based on his college resume. His fall in the draft could be attributed to several factors, including questions about transitioning to a pro-style offense, the level of competition he faced in college, or perceived physical limitations. Yet, history has shown that draft position does not always dictate career trajectory, as numerous late-round quarterbacks have become stars through perseverance, adaptability, and opportunity. For Cleveland, the lower selection also reduces the financial risk, while potentially yielding high reward if Sanders can harness his potential. The intrigue of watching a player with such a storied background navigate the early challenges of the NFL adds a narrative layer that fans are naturally drawn to. Every snap in practice and preseason will be scrutinized, turning every successful throw into a moment of anticipation and excitement for the franchise and its supporters. Even though Sanders is currently deep in the quarterback depth chart, there's a tangible sense that he could eventually take on a more significant role. The Browns' offensive situation, coupled with injuries or performance fluctuations, could open doors for the rookie to showcase his talent in live-game scenarios. Such opportunities are critical for evaluating his readiness, poise under pressure, and ability to command a huddle against NFL defenses. Coaches will be watching not only his technical execution, but also his decision-making, adaptability, and capacity to handle adversity. This stage of a quarterback's career is about more than athleticism. It's a test of mental fortitude and the ability to learn from mistakes quickly. For fans, this period of growth represents the anticipation of witnessing a young player potentially evolve from an unknown to a pivotal figure in the team's offensive identity over the course of a season. Sanders' lineage adds both intrigue and pressure to his NFL journey. Being the son of a Hall of Fame athlete comes with expectations that go far beyond on-field performance. Media scrutiny, fan interest, and comparisons to his father are inevitable, and they create a unique dynamic that few rookies face. While this spotlight can be intimidating, it also provides a platform to showcase resilience, maturity, and leadership qualities that are essential for a quarterback. How Sanders manages these external pressures could be as influential to his success as his physical skills. Coaches and teammates will be evaluating not just his arm strength or mobility, but how he handles attention, criticism, and the inevitable highs and lows that come with playing in a major media market like Cleveland. The narrative surrounding him may be louder than the average rookie, but it also offers an opportunity to define his career on his own terms. Urban Meyer's remarks about Sanders highlight an essential aspect of quarterback evaluation. Leadership and character are just as important as physical talent. According to Meyer, Sanders possesses a level of maturity and composure that could allow him to navigate the complex and high-stakes world of professional football. Leadership is not solely demonstrated by athletic prowess, but through the ability to motivate teammates, remain calm under pressure, and make intelligent decisions during critical moments. In the NFL, these traits often separate successful quarterbacks from those who struggle to maintain consistency. Meyer's recognition of Sanders' leadership potential provides credibility to the argument that the rookie's value extends beyond measurable statistics. It frames him as a player who could not only execute plays effectively, but also serve as a stabilizing presence in the locker room, which is crucial for a team seeking both immediate results and long-term development. The journey for Sanders is undeniably challenging, given his current position and the depth of talent ahead of him on the roster. However, the potential for growth and opportunity remains significant. Training camp, preseason matchups, and incremental repetitions in practice will all serve as crucial stages for Sanders to demonstrate his readiness. NFL teams have a history of identifying and nurturing late-round talent, especially when the player exhibits a unique combination of physical tools, intelligence, and mental resilience. For Sanders, each moment on the field, no matter how small, contributes to a narrative of growth and learning. The Browns coaching staff will be tasked with balancing patience with urgency, ensuring that the rookie receives meaningful exposure without jeopardizing the team's immediate performance. This delicate balance is a pivotal aspect of integrating young talent into a competitive NFL environment. For Cleveland fans, the presence of Shedeur Sanders represents both excitement and speculation. The intrigue lies not only in his potential to perform at a high level, but also in the storylines he brings with him. Every play, every decision, and every interaction becomes fodder for analysis and discussion among supporters and commentators alike. This dynamic fuels engagement and adds an additional layer of entertainment to the team's season narrative. Fans will be watching closely to see how Sanders develops, whether he can command respect from his peers, and how he handles the inevitable challenges that come with being an NFL quarterback. The intersection of talent, opportunity, and expectation creates a compelling storyline that could define his early career, making each moment of observation both critical and captivating for the Cleveland faithful. Ultimately, Shedeur Sanders' journey with the Browns is a story of potential, opportunity, and the weight of legacy. Drafted in the 5th round, he faces an uphill battle to establish himself as a legitimate NFL starter, but the foundations of his success, skill set, leadership, and character have already been recognized by influential figures like Urban Meyer. The rookie's development will hinge on his ability to learn, adapt, and seize opportunities when they arise. While external pressures and comparisons to his father will be constant, the path forward is defined by performance, perseverance, and the ability to demonstrate that he belongs on the professional stage. For the Browns, Sanders represents both an investment in the future and a narrative that captures the imagination of fans, offering a glimpse of what could be a remarkable ascent in the league. Shedeur Sanders' presence in Cleveland brings an element of suspense and anticipation to the quarterback room. Even though he begins the season as QB4, the fluid nature of NFL rosters means that situations can change rapidly. Injuries, underperformance, or strategic adjustments could present him with an unexpected opportunity to step into a starting role. This uncertainty fuels interest among analysts and fans, creating an environment where every practice rep and preseason snap is intensely scrutinized. Sanders' ability to respond to these circumstances will be a true test of his readiness and adaptability. The Browns coaching staff will closely monitor his progress, evaluating not only his execution, but his decision-making under pressure and his capacity to command the huddle. The rookie's journey is emblematic of the NFL experience, where preparation, patience, and resilience often dictate who rises to prominence and who remains on the periphery of opportunity. Enjoying the content so far? Smash that like button and drop your take in the comments. We want to hear what you think about the Browns this season. The NFL world is buzzing with a scandal that could shake the Cleveland Browns to their core, as reports have emerged suggesting that two of the team's starters, Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders, have allegedly failed drug tests. The news initially surfaced through insider channels, sparking a wave of speculation and tension among fans, analysts, and even rival teams. Sources suggest that the league has not officially confirmed the suspensions, yet the whispers circulating in locker rooms, social media, and sports networks are growing too loud to ignore. For a team like the Browns, who have been carefully constructing a competitive roster with aspirations for a playoff push, such developments could prove destabilizing. The timing, right before critical midseason matchups, has only intensified the intrigue. Fans are debating whether this incident reflects personal lapses in judgment or a broader issue within the team's culture, while commentators speculate on the potential impact on both morale and strategy moving forward. Industry insiders hint that the suspensions might be lengthy, leaving the Browns scrambling to reconfigure their starting lineup. Both Gabriel and Sanders have been integral to the team's offensive schemes, with Gabriel orchestrating the passing game with precision and Sanders providing explosive plays that energize the roster and fans alike. The abrupt absence of these key players could force the coaching staff into urgent tactical adjustments, potentially reshaping playbooks, rotations, and practice regimens. There is also speculation regarding how these suspensions might influence team chemistry, with reports suggesting that locker room morale has been noticeably affected even before an official statement. Analysts are debating whether backups possess the capability to fill these voids seamlessly or if the Browns might need to explore short-term acquisitions. Meanwhile, opponents are reportedly sensing an opportunity, quietly preparing to exploit what could become a weakened offensive core. Rumors surrounding potential internal conflicts and media leaks have further fueled the narrative, adding layers of drama and uncertainty to an already tense situation. Social media has exploded with reactions ranging from shock to outrage, with fans expressing disbelief over the alleged infractions. Memes, posts, and comment threads have proliferated, often portraying exaggerated scenarios of what the team might face in upcoming games. Analysts on podcasts and video channels are dissecting every possible consequence, speculating about fines, further disciplinary measures, and whether the team's reputation will endure this scrutiny. Rumors have even surfaced suggesting that the league could impose additional restrictions beyond suspensions, though these claims remain unverified. The intense focus on Gabriel and Sanders' situations is casting a shadow over the Browns' broader performance, with critics questioning whether management failed to implement proper oversight or preventive protocols. Meanwhile, rival fanbases are capitalizing on the gossip, amplifying the narrative in ways that heighten tension and create a sense of looming crisis. Each passing hour seems to compound the story, transforming it from a team issue into a national conversation about professionalism, accountability, and integrity in the NFL. Reports indicate that legal counsel and player representatives are already involved behind the scenes, exploring potential appeals and mitigation strategies. The complexity of anti-doping regulations in professional football adds another layer of intrigue, as insiders suggest that procedural technicalities could play a pivotal role in the outcome. Speculation abounds that the players might argue for leniency based on testing errors, supplement contamination, or procedural discrepancies, yet skepticism remains high due to the strict protocols established by the league. Meanwhile, coaches are reportedly attempting damage control, balancing public statements with internal reassurances to remaining players. Rumors suggest tense meetings have taken place, with staff trying to maintain focus while acknowledging the seriousness of the allegations. Discussions over future team strategies, roster adjustments, and contingency plans have reportedly become a daily fixture. Every media outlet is now circling the story, analyzing tweets, insider leaks, and speculative reports, creating a whirlwind of attention that shows no signs of abating, keeping fans and critics alike on edge. The potential ripple effects of these suspensions extend beyond the field, with sponsorships, media partnerships, and league relations all under scrutiny. Marketing experts speculate that brands associated with the Browns could reconsider endorsements or promotional activities, particularly if the suspensions are prolonged or the narrative intensifies. Rumors also suggest that internal communications within the organization are frantically assessing public relations strategies, aiming to prevent lasting reputational damage. Sports economists are weighing in, highlighting how off-field controversies can indirectly affect ticket sales, merchandise revenue, and broadcast viewership. Meanwhile, diehard fans remain fiercely divided, some defending the players' track records and contributions, while others express frustration over the perceived lapse in judgment. The intersection of sports performance, personal accountability, and financial implications makes this story far more than a simple doping case. In essence, the Browns are navigating a storm whose consequences could redefine how the team operates in the near term, both on and off the gridiron. Locker room dynamics are reportedly tense, with unnamed sources hinting at heated exchanges during team meetings and practice sessions. Coaches are allegedly implementing crisis management protocols, attempting to maintain focus on upcoming games while addressing the fallout from the suspensions. Some players are said to be vocal about their frustrations, fearing that their own careers could be indirectly affected by the sudden absence of Gabriel and Sanders. The emotional impact, combined with tactical adjustments, may require psychological and motivational interventions from team staff. Rumors suggest that veteran leaders are stepping up to stabilize morale, but the effectiveness of such measures remains uncertain. Analysts are debating whether this controversy could galvanize the remaining roster or further destabilize cohesion. The situation highlights the delicate balance between individual accountability and collective team performance, prompting conversations across the NFL community about leadership, mentorship, and the pressures athletes face under constant scrutiny from fans, media, and league authorities alike. Strategic implications for the Browns' upcoming schedule are already dominating conversation among experts. The absence of Gabriel and Sanders could necessitate a shift in offensive schemes, relying more heavily on running backs, short passes, and alternative formations to compensate for lost firepower. Coaches may need to adjust practice routines, emphasizing new plays and integrating backup quarterbacks or wide receivers into critical roles. Opposing teams are reportedly aware of the potential vulnerability and are formulating targeted defensive strategies. Analysts speculate that this could lead to unexpected upsets, momentum swings, and a season trajectory that diverges sharply from preseason expectations. Meanwhile, betting markets and fantasy football enthusiasts are reacting to the rumor mill, with sudden shifts in projected outcomes and player values. The Browns staff faces the daunting task of balancing immediate tactical needs with long-term roster development, all while managing the intense scrutiny that accompanies high-profile suspensions. Every detail of the unfolding situation seems primed for continuous debate and analysis. Sources close to the organization suggest that internal investigations are ongoing, with management meticulously reviewing medical records, supplement use, and testing procedures. The goal appears to be twofold: to understand the root cause of the positive tests and to prevent similar incidents in the future. Rumors indicate that meetings between executives, coaching staff, and player representatives are intense, with differing opinions on responsibility and appropriate disciplinary measures. Public relations strategists are simultaneously crafting messaging to convey accountability while avoiding exacerbation of fan outrage. Analysts speculate that the league may also conduct its own investigation to ensure transparency and adherence to anti-doping policies. Meanwhile, the narrative has expanded beyond sports circles into mainstream media, creating a broader discourse about athlete responsibility, performance pressure, and the ethics of competitive advantage. Each revelation, leak, or rumor adds a new layer of complexity, making it increasingly difficult to separate verified facts from speculative chatter within the swirling storm enveloping the Browns organization. Speculation continues regarding the potential long-term impact on both Gabriel's and Sanders' careers. Some insiders suggest that the suspensions could tarnish reputations, hinder contract negotiations, and even affect future endorsements, especially if the narrative lingers. Others argue that both players have the talent and fan support to rebound, provided they navigate appeals, comply with league protocols, and publicly demonstrate accountability. Meanwhile, rival teams are reportedly observing developments closely, potentially recalibrating their own scouting and game plans to exploit perceived weaknesses. Rumors of tension between management and coaching staff have also surfaced, with questions about whether internal communication failures contributed to the situation. Analysts predict that the Browns' next few games could become a litmus test for resilience, adaptability, and leadership under pressure. Beyond the field, this controversy serves as a case study in crisis management, athlete conduct, and the fragile intersection of talent, ethics, and public perception in professional sports today. Media outlets continue to dissect every angle of the story, producing analysis, debate, and opinion pieces with relentless intensity. Commentators speculate about whether the Browns will issue a formal statement soon or continue managing the crisis quietly. Fans remain deeply engaged, sharing theories, speculations, and emotional reactions across digital platforms. The swirling rumors, leaks, and insider accounts have turned what might have been a routine disciplinary matter into a national conversation. Industry professionals highlight how this case underscores the pressures faced by high-profile athletes, the strictness of anti-doping regulations, and the unpredictable consequences of personal decisions. Meanwhile, social media amplification ensures that each new detail, verified or not, spreads rapidly, magnifying the impact. Every report, every rumor, and every speculative discussion contributes to a complex narrative where accountability, performance, and reputation are all inextricably intertwined, leaving fans and analysts alike in suspense as the Browns navigate this unprecedented crisis. As the story unfolds, attention remains sharply focused on the Browns' response and the league's potential actions. Sources suggest that both players are working closely with legal and medical teams to explore all available options, including appeals and potential reductions in suspension length. The organization, meanwhile, is reportedly balancing public messaging, internal support, and strategic planning, attempting to mitigate disruption while safeguarding long-term objectives. Analysts and insiders speculate that the ripple effects could shape roster decisions, coaching strategies, and league-wide policies on anti-doping enforcement. Fans are left grappling with a mix of disappointment, frustration, and anticipation, eagerly awaiting updates and speculating about potential outcomes. Every development, no matter how minor, is scrutinized for clues about the seriousness of the allegations and the likely path forward. In the midst of uncertainty, one thing is clear: the Browns' season, player careers, and public perception are now irrevocably entwined in a saga that will dominate headlines and conversations for weeks, if not months, to come. Thanks for riding with us on another Browns Blitz. If you liked the video, share it with a fellow fan, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you're always part of the Dawg Pound conversation. Go Browns!